Hi, welcome to the Persistent Traveller. Today we're travelling to the Maldives. Can't wait, we've never been there before, and this is the travelling day. I just want to explain to you all what we've had to go through to get this far. To start with, would I have any tips straight away for people who are thinking about travelling to the Maldives? At the moment, the way I'm feeling after a long and very tiring day, I'd say yes, go ahead, but there's so many things you have to think about, and the most stressful part I find is the not quite knowing where to go and where to look for things to do. So hopefully this video will come in handy and give you some hints and tips on what I've done. There's still some things we're unclear of. There's two apps we're still not sure whether we're supposed to have signed up to them. I've downloaded both apps. I'll put a photo on now of them on my phone, but we can't find anybody who will help us, and it's impossible for us to log on to those, so I'm hoping we don't need that. Another thing to just throw a spanner into the works is it's the 28th of January today. On the 4th of January, I tested positive for COVID. I am fully recovered. Luckily, I was asymptomatic. I didn't have any symptoms at all. But I've got a letter from the doctor, a recovery note. Anyway, I had to pay £15 for that, just to say that I'm fully recovered. I've done a PCR test. I'm travelling with my mother. We both tested negative on our PCR tests. That had to be done, I think it was 96 hours or before you fly. So that came back okay. I've had to write a list down so I can tell you all about it. So we had to have negative PCR certificates. Our COVID passes, all this information had to be downloaded onto we are flying with Qatar, and the flight is operated by Qatar, and it's operated by British Airways through Qatar. That's been a bit awkward as well, because we've had to sign in to British Airways and download all the information on there. At the moment, we haven't done that with Qatar, but I'm assuming we'd have to do that coming back because it's not operated by British Airways. We have to book a day 2 lateral flow test. This is because we live in Wales and this is the law at the moment. I think from the 11th of February, you no longer have to have a day 2 lateral flow. So at the moment, we've had to pay for that, but not normally. And the Traveller Health Declaration form, which took me about an hour to do the first one. If you do anything wrong, if you submit something wrongly or forget to fill something in, it takes you right back to the beginning again. So it took me about an hour to do mine, and I also helped Mum out with hers. It took us about 20-25 minutes for the second one. So if there's a group of you travelling, by the time you get to the 5th or 6th, it'll be no problem at all. Our flights cost us £619. Off the top of my head, the PCR tests was £75 each we paid. COVID passes, obviously they were free. The day 2 lateral flow, I think we paid £25, I think, somewhere around that for that. So yeah, all added together. This is pre-flight day. So we left our home at 12 o'clock midday today, and we got to the Gatwick Hotel where we're staying for the night at 5 o'clock. So we've already done the 5 hours travelling, which wasn't too bad. And then we've got the flight tomorrow. So I'll check in with you tomorrow and see how everything goes. Fingers crossed that there's nothing else we've forgotten about, and everything else runs smoothly. Right, we've checked in. Finally, we didn't need the track and trace. We just spoke to the nice gentleman who checked us in. We've got 2 lots of boarding passes, one lot to get to Doha and the other one to get to Mali. They checked our COVID passes. We had to present those. Our negative PCR results, we had to present those. Passports, obviously. And the travel declaration form. And I think that was it. So we didn't have to produce evidence of day 2, our test for day 2 on return. That might be because we live in Wales. And what else didn't they check? Recovery note. They didn't check the recovery note from the doctor. So yeah, all looking good so far, and then we're going to go through security and I'll check in with you after security. Bye! So hello. We don't want to speak too loud. So I'm on the flight, eventually. We didn't have any issues with any extra things that we didn't think that we had to do last minute. So our first leg of the flight is on British Airways, and we are on here for 6 hours 40 minutes. The plane is half full, half empty, whichever way you want to look at it. We were told to stay in our seats until the seatbelt signs went off, and then there was a mad rush, so everybody went to any spare seats. So I've got 3 seats next to the window, and Mum is in front of me. She's got 3 seats, which is like business class really, being led out flat. The lady Becky has just come around to serve us, and she asked what I wanted. So I've had, start the whole day off well, a Heineken with red wine chaser. She even asked me, bless her, how many red wines I wanted. So just the one. So we've got lager with red wine chaser, and I think that's all the alcohol I'm going to have until after my meal. So I'll catch up with you when we get our food, but for now everything is great. Right, I don't know whether you can hear me because I haven't got a microphone on, but we had a choice between vegetable biryani and chicken curry, and I've gone with chicken curry. So it was a choice between vegetable biryani or chicken curry, and it looks really nice. We've got a pot there of black forest that looks like the dessert, some rice for a starter, the chicken curry there, some water and another glass of Sauvignon, Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm going to check in now, and hopefully I'll remember to tell you how nice it is. So yes, I know I look awful. We've just finished the last leg of the flight. We had a 4 hour 40 minutes flight from Doha to Mali in the Maldives. Unfortunately, we were in the middle seats, so we didn't get to see it out of the plane window. But when we touched down to land, I might put in a few of the pictures. They're not very good, but you can see how blue the water is. That was the first thing that hit me, is how blue the water is. We had an issue, a worry, that they were going to weigh the hand luggage, because the hand luggage was supposed to weigh, to go on the seaplane, less than 3 kilograms, and the suitcase less than 20 kilograms. My suitcase was fine, it was 16 kilograms, but my hand luggage, I wouldn't like to think how much that weighed, definitely over 3 kilograms. So we were expecting to pay extra for that. On this occasion, they said as long as I've got a bag on my lap on the seaplane, that's fine. So thank goodness we wasn't slapped with another bill. In Doha airport, I'm not sure whether I mentioned that they checked the passports, COVID passes and PCR results that we had. They did the same here. They said make sure you've got the COVID passes, PCR results, and your passport's ready for inspection when you arrive in Mali. Probably because we'd already had a stopover in Doha. That's all they did was check and stamp our passports. It's really easy coming through the airport. We've got it. We're in the VIP lounge at the moment with free drinks and snacks, which is lovely. And very, very welcome. Drinks also come in other makes. And then we've got to wait. It's about 10:30. Not sure what time it is here actually. Oh, it's 10:05 in the morning. So we have to wait till 12:30 until our seaplane is ready to take us to the hotel we're staying in, which is the Radisson Blu in the Maldives.